Hey guys, Dan here and welcome back to another video and another reaction. And for today's second video we're gonna be continuing the Weapon Stereotype series, and today episode 10, The Spy. This is one of the largest episodes of the Weapon Stereotype so far, if not the biggest one. The Spy has a lot of stereotypes and a lot of weapons, knives and other gadgets, and I bet Sam Smith's gonna make a few jokes and maybe some guest appearances to talk about them and to which of all resulted in this big video. So guys, if you can, remember, go to the original video and give it a like, and also leave a comment, tell me how was your day, subscribe, suggest a video, maybe ring the bell, share the channel. That would help immensely. Remember, we're doing a special week till next Tuesday, so we have 2 videos every day, and the first video of tomorrow is voted by you guys, so you guys can already go to the community tab and vote for tomorrow's video. And beyond that, I just hope that you guys are all good, you guys are all safe, and I think we can go to the video. I just hope you guys can maybe stay till the end of the video. That would be amazing. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's go to the video.
The Spy is one of those classes that I really wish was less cool on paper. You know, he's so appealing to everyone that most new players instantly gravitate towards him, leading to most pub servers being filled with a bunch of spies who don't even know how the disguise kit works and
Yeah,
just
the
run at
spy's
people trying to
cool.
butter knife
Spy's
them.
cool.
On the other hand, though, a good spy can be the biggest nuisance your team has ever come across in the entirety of their time playing TF2. I feel like the Spy is one of those classes with the biggest difference between a terrible player and an amazing player. Except maybe Sniper. Anyway, as always, stereotypes don't
I think
apply
the
to
part
everyone.
of Spy being a nonsense is when the difference comes when the other team has someone that knows what he's doing compared to a team that doesn't know what he's doing.
Okay, let's go.
Because seeing an evenly matched in TF2, an even match is really hard, if not stagnated.
The stock revolver is kind of amazing. It's the
I
perfect
agree.
example of consistency and can put out really decent damage if you know how to use it properly. It kind of sucks then that it's completely overshadowed by the Ambassador. You'd think the stereotype for this would be people using this can't aim, you know, since otherwise they'd be using the Ambassador. But I've found that a spy who actively uses the stock revolver can hit shots way more consistently than most ambi spies. Unless you're me. I'm the exception to this one. I just can't aim.
I am also terrible with the Ambassador, don't worry,
This is an
Sam Smith.
insanely good utility, and probably my most used revolver for spy, but once again, it's completely overshadowed by the Ambassador.
I remember seeing Mr. Paladin's videos, and he would always use this. This is such a great weapon to just sneak around the enemy and have those amazing escapes, or just to stalk your victims before you kill them. But I don't use him as much because I don't play spy as much. I prefer the normal revolver.
This guy knows every ammo location on every map and will probably stay invisible for 90% of the match, even if he isn't using the cloak and dagger. Because of this, though, he probably takes similar routes every single life and will...
Oh, the dual sniper that doesn't understand anything happening on the surrounds. That's amazing.
Amount of cloak. If the other team has one of these guys, try to keep track of when
Hi,
they spawn
soldier.
and make sure to randomly spy check hallways, corners, and choke points every now and then. I guarantee you'll piss them off pretty quickly.
Poor soldier. I used to use the Diamondback a lot.
I mean, hell, you get free crits just for doing things a spy should be doing anyway. People who use the Diamondback recognize this and abuse the hell out of it. Fortunately, it's once again overshadowed by the Ambassador. It's a good thing most spy mains are too busy jerking it to VODs of Akuma, otherwise the Diamondback would be a way more common choice and would be
poor
even
Heavy,
more
he was
annoying of
eating a sandwich, you
problem than it is. As
sandwich.
it stands though, if you see a spy with a Diamondback, just be prepared for bullshit, because there is an approximately 75% chance that halfway through your fight with him, some random dispenser across the map will finish sapping and he'll get a crit out of nowhere. You know, I would say this is overshadowed by the Ambassador, but that kind of implies that it has good qualities to begin with. Well,
yeah,
I guess it used to be really good, but now it's
not that good anymore
and only works in about half of its intended use cases, so now it's just a shittier stock revolver. If you see a spy using the Enforcer, he's probably just going on a little nostalgia trip, reminiscing about the days when it was stupid OP. Or
yeah,
he's just
sadly, it's not that good now.
Which I have to admit is pretty fun.
The Ambassador, here we come. See, I was right, he was doing a skit.
Now in session. Honorable Judge Sam Smith now presiding.
Hey guys, sit down, sit down. I don't call me honorable. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here. Okay, now calling for the record the case of pretentious spy
I
mains
think
v.
this is
everybody else,
a
civil case
parody to
number
Phoenix Wright,
102.
right?
Counsel, please identify yourselves for the record.
I'm Maxbox on behalf of the plaintiff.
I'm Spurgy on behalf of the defense.
Okay, excellent. Are there any housekeeping matters that we need to take care of before the trial starts?
Yes, Your Honor. As the representative of skilled spy mains everywhere, we request to be given double the time for the defense for opening statements. According to Article 264,933-C, the time allotted for opening statements should be directly proportional to the average skill of the represented groups.
Objection! First of all, that's fucking stupid.
Yes, that's fucking stupid.
Second of all, that's not even a real law.
Well, it should be. You're not even using the ambassador. That obviously means you can't aim worth a damn.
Just because you use a gun that can headshot doesn't mean you can actually hit them. I bet you couldn't even hit the broadside of a barn with that thing. What is that? An Australian ambassador with 5,000 kills on it? Your headshots part isn't even past 100.
I just put on that part yesterday, thank you very much.
What, just
All I'm
because you
saying is
think
that
that
if
you
you're not
can
using the
maybe
ambassador,
hit one or two
Oh, and then
guys
he's
on
just
fire?
giving them the double finger.
The trial hasn't even started yet. Are you
Thank
serious
God I'm
right
not
now?
a spy
So
man like
this
that.
is by far one of the most divisive
And I
stereotypes
noticed
I've
the
ever come.
bison
About
logo on
50%
top
of the
of Sam
comments I
Smith
read,
in the
people I
end.
talked to said that the ambassador is a weapon for the most skilled of skilled spy mains, and everyone who uses it should be regarded as a god amongst men. And the other 50% said that it was a huge war pig, so everyone who uses it thinks they're a god amongst men, but in reality can't hit the broadside of a barn. I've honestly never seen such an even split for a stereotype before.
I can
think
agree.
What it boils down to is that if somebody uses the ambassador religiously, then their opinion falls into the first category, but more often than not, their actual skill will fall into the second category. On the other hand, if someone doesn't use the ambassador 100% of the time, then they know how to play to their strengths, but they also probably struggle with aiming and hitting headshots.
I think
One thing that's
the
for
I think
sure,
the
though,
thing with
is
the
that if you
ambassador is
see an
that you
ambassador
take
spy,
like
he's
like
absolutely
2
going
seconds
try
to
use
aim
it
it.
on you and get those sick
You
frat
need to
video
be
clips.
able to aim it in the exact moment you need to, but that also will leave space for you
Okay,
missing
let's
a
be
lot.
real. 90% of spies use the stock sapper or some reskin of it.
Yeah.
This is because the
I
only
use the
other
stock
option
one.
is kind of terrible. So, there's honestly not that much of a stereotype for this one. The research I did was largely inconclusive since everyone basically said something to the effect of, this guy is smart enough to not use the red tape recorder. So there are two types of red tape recorder spies. Those who don't know what it does, and those who realize that it fucking sucks. Okay, in all honesty, this is sorta, kind of, maybe useful in two situations. One is fighting mini-sentry NGs.
Oh yeah, I never
gunslinger
thought of
NGs
that.
just let a sapper run its course. I mean, hell, after you're done, you can just slam down another one really easily, so, like, why even bother?
Especially if he has a
sapper
frontier
that takes
justice.
longer to complete can actually work to your advantage, since the total uptime of his mini is gonna be lower. Okay, number two is suicide plays. You know the ones. The ones where you're on CTF2 fort and there are 50
Oh,
all
look
turtling
at
like level
that.
3s in the intel room, and every time you go down there, you just get instantly shut down because there are just so many NGs all hunting
That
you
must be
down
so
and there's
cool
nothing you
to
can
do.
The regular sapper just makes buildings
But
useless,
hey,
so a couple
and
of
also
things
I
to
can
the
imagine
lens will
someone
undo that
wanting to be
but
annoying
in this
using
situation,
that.
at
Really
least the
annoying.
red tape recorder does something. I mean, it'll at the very least degrade each
Don't you
building
dare
sap
clip
by
that,
one
Tuca.
level, and
Don't you
it's
dare.
easier for your team to deal with 50 billion level 2 sentries than it is for them to deal with 50 billion level 3 sentries. Plus, it's annoying as hell to deal with since it's a huge time waster. So in those two very specific situations, it's maybe useful. Otherwise, it just sucks. So if you see a red tape recorder spy, chances are he's either clueless or just trying to annoy the engineers. Like most stock weapons, the knife is a jack-of-all-trades kind of deal. Most spies using this are not trying to do one specific thing, and they're not trying to counter one specific thing. They're just playing spy. I have noticed that Australian knife spies...
Oh,
take themselves
that
way
was
too
beautiful.
seriously, though. Just a kind of random trend I noticed when it came to the comments on the last video. Anyway, if you see a stock knife spy, just be prepared for anything. And by anything, I mostly mean them trying to butter knife you a lot, but, like, also some other stuff, I guess. I don't know.
I have that.
So
I
this
like
is a
that.
reskin, but it has a really widespread stereotype, so I'm gonna go over it separately. This guy is the oh-so-popular 13-year-old Assassin's Creed fanboy. This guy thinks he's really cool and takes himself very seriously. The problem is, nobody else takes him seriously. He also probably has one of those Assassin's Creed-style trench coats in real life that doesn't look nearly as cool on him as it did in the promotional images. In TF2, you'll see these guys wearing the the Assassin's Creed hat most of the time, and they'll very frequently go for huge leaping trick stabs. You know, I actually met a guy once who would mic spam an ear rape version of the Eagle Screech from the Assassin's Creed games every time he would jump off of a high place. It was really stupid, but it was also pretty funny. I just wish I hadn't told KJ about this, because now he's taken to using the sharp dresser a lot and doing that exact thing.
Balloon warning.
Wait, what the?
This guy puts way too much faith in his disguise. Sadly, disguises really aren't as good of a tool as they once were, since they just don't fool that many people anymore. Not even the instant disguise
Yeah,
that
people,
this
they
weapon
learn.
offers is really convincing. You'll often see these guys jumping in and going for huge chain stabs on the payload, only to find that nobody's buying their disguise and either dying or just popping their
That
dead
was an
brigade.
amazing escape. That was an amazing escape.
So, the connivance kunai. It's primarily being used by people that appreciate the self-sustain it can give you as a reward for careful positioning and timing.
Oof, nice stab.
Okay, who am I kidding? This is a Soundsmith video. Alright, see those spies? Yeah, those right there. Jama Chapeau, stereotype, die-hard trick stabbers that worship the ambi. Yeah, those guys love the kunai. 2 reasons. Number 1 is pretty obvious.
Oh no! No, I don't want to remove this part of my music.
Number 2, they think that with
I
the
don't want to
kunai
remove the volume.
they're pretty much invincible while trick stabbing a whole team. Look, this is what they think they look like.
Please, don't make me remove the audio, please.
This, however, is how they actually look like about 99% of the time.
Is he going to get trick stabbed?
I'm afraid not.
I won't claim that the kunai is an actual war pig, but hell, if the ambassador gets the gun spot for
spy.
a war pig, then this one right here is the knife among them.
No spy.
You
No.
ladies, Ethan, you're a Zoom by Tim Allen.
No, go away. I don't want to be zoomed by Tim Allen.
You had 5 health.
No.
If only I could aim the revolver.
Stop chasing me with your zoom by Tim Allen.
legitimately,
Go away.
No fucking joke. I had a dream last night where I broke a kid's toy and I had to buy him a new one.
Oh yeah?
You broke a Zoom by Tim Allen DVD.
No, what happened was okay, Tim Allen had to do with it.
Wait, really?
Yes, I'm not even fucking with you. This is due to all of
Oh
our
my God.
shenanigans last night. So what happened was I broke a kid's toy. So I had to break into a compound, a drug dealer's compound, to get to the only
Oh my
ATM in
God.
the area.
Wait.
To buy the kid a new
Okay.
toy because they wouldn't accept
Wait.
my card.
So what does Tim Allen have to do with this?
Just wait, it gets
Tim
better.
Allen, it's
Okay.
Tim Allen's compound.
Yes, it's Tim
Oh my
Allen,
God.
and he's the drug lord.
Hey, you want some of that zoom?
I'm not even fucking with you. I'm not even fucking
KJ,
with
go
you.
away. No.
He wouldn't
KJ,
speak.
KJ,
This
stop.
is the best part, right?
No. KJ, go
I
away.
went down with a vacuum.
No, it wasn't.
was your
No, it
best
wasn't.
year.
Fuck off.
Like,
How can some...
guys
I
are
have
thinking
some
I'm
fucked up
joking, I'm
dreams
not.
too, but I never
I'm
dreamed with
totally
Tim
serious.
Allen.
That happened in my dream. He
Okay.
also didn't speak English. He only talked in grunts.
He only talked in
So
what?
He was like, so Tim Allen was a fucking Neanderthal drug dealer who
Oh.
was just talking grunts, going, "Arr, arr, 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 arr."
That's amazing.
Oh, that's my chance.
Oh no, no, I got bamboozled.
Oh.
I got zoomed by Tim Allen.
And I'm gonna, and
That's
I'm
so
gonna tell you
great.
something that. And then all I knew was that I ran into him. He just talked in grunts, and then the dream ended. That was the first time in my entire life that I woke up laughing.
My
How does
God.
that happen?
That is incredible.
How does the dream make you wake up laughing? I
Can we
heard
like
it
have
so
this
much this
conversation?
morning.
Can we just like have like for the freaking bigger stereotype? Can we just like literally just like
Yes.
have this conversation just be recorded?
Yes,
And
I'm
you
gonna
start
do
loud
it.
and it's like get ready.
You
He's
think
backstabbing
I'm
you.
not gonna do it, but I'm gonna fucking do it, dude. I know that probably didn't make any sense whatsoever, but I promised I'd put it in, so there you go. Okay, so the big earner tends to be used by spies who really like going for chain stabs, or spies who have trouble getting away after they get a single stab. It's really not
Makes
that
sense.
common of a choice to see, since it puts you below the 100 damage threshold, meaning you can be one-shot by soldiers, demos, and scouts. So usually big earner spies will be either completely clueless and just give you free kills for the most part, or they're comfortable enough with their acting, movement, and cloak management to get that first stab.
Oh, I thought there were going to be more.
This guy just hates pyros. You know, come to think of it, there are a lot of weapons
The-
that seem to be designed
the guy just jumped
specifically
off
to
the
counter
cliff.
pyro. Anyway, another thing to keep in mind is that this guy is gonna get tons of face stabs on you. I've heard rumors that it actually has a slightly longer range than the other knives. Not like Eyelander levels of range, but it's just enough to get face stabs way more than other knives. Now, I didn't really find anything to support this, I just heard a couple people mentioning it offhand, but I have noticed that I do tend to get face stabbed more against this. Of course, according to Spicicle Spies, it wasn't a face stab, it was an over-under C2C Matador Stair Corner random Latin word they threw in so people would think they're smart stab. You just need to get good, obviously. This is another one of those items that I have to go over, even though literally everyone uses this. There's not really a stereotype associated with the disguise kit itself, except maybe Spy Crab, but I guess we can go over the two most obvious types of people associated with disguises in general. First, we've got this guy. I don't think he's quite figured out that his cunning and masterful plan of disguise as Scout and run straight at the entire enemy team isn't really fooling anyone. And then we've got this guy, who just graduated at the top of his class in the fucking Daniel Day-Lewis School of Method Acting.
Daniel
Despite the
Day-Lewis?
fact that disguises are generally a pretty crappy tool, he somehow manages to fool everyone. I don't know, I guess the only time disguises stick out is if they're hilariously bad or terrifyingly good.
Talking about this, guys, this reminds me so much of the Soviet Womble TF2 video. I'm
Same
still
deal here,
traumatized
actually.
by that.
Stockwatch spies are usually either really bad or really good. Since it's a stock weapon, you'll probably see a lot of these guys
Sometimes
bumping into everyone,
steps should
running out
just
of
not
cloak at horrible
connect.
times, and
Sometimes it's
generally
just
doing everything
creepy.
they can to get discovered. But good stockwatch spies? Oh man, don't even bother trying to catch these guys. They know exactly where you're gonna go and how to avoid you, and can perfectly maneuver through an entire team of enemies without being discovered. I'm still pretty bad at this myself, but one of the most satisfying things to do as spy is to escape certain death with your own movement and skill, and not by just pressing right click and being halfway across the map instantly.
We now return to our feature presentation, Inside the Mind of a Cloak and Dagger Spy.
Oh man, lately I've just been having so much trouble staying alive as spy. Whenever I cloak and try to get to safety, my cloak runs out, revealing my thick yet fragile body. The other pocket watch thing doesn't even make me invisible when I open it. I think it's broken. But on the bright side, I found this other watch that allows me to wait in one spot until the exact precise time for me to strike. I can literally stand in one spot and only move if someone's gonna accidentally walk into me. I can't get killed if the enemy never sees me.
This guy's playstyle is much more slow and methodical than most other spies, and by that, I mean he's gonna be in the same friggin' corner for the entire match. Lots of cloak and dagger spies have trouble managing their cloak with other watches, so they'll spend a lot of time standing still and recharging their watch in a hotly contested area. This is also why most of the time you find a cloaked spy with this watch, your first reaction is probably gonna be something along the lines of, "What the hell were you even doing there?" Regardless, this weapon is
What
pretty
is
fun to use
David
when you're messing with
doing?
people, and it's nice
He's
when you're
being
up
a
against a team
sentry.
that's pretty aware and you need to pick and choose your time to decloak carefully. You're still not gonna get that
Poor
much
Heavy.
done, though.
Poor Heavy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh
Here we
man,
go.
where do I even start with this thing?
Here we go.
Okay, hang on, I've got an idea. Fuck this weapon. The Dead Ringer is one of the most hated weapons.
But
in
now I
all
don't
of
think this
TF2,
video was
surpassing
made
even
well
Reserve
after the
Shoot. Nearly
update.
every single person I talked to said that this weapon was a huge crutch for spies who have no game sense and can't stay alive on their own. While I'm not sure if it fits the technical definition of a crutch or not, most Dead Ringer spies you run into will definitely be using it as one. That is to say, they don't try and be tricky and feign their own death at all. They just run straight into the entire enemy team and use it as a get out of jail free card. It's a safety net, essentially. Fortunately though, it's getting nerfed into the ground in the Pyro update, or at least it was going to be based on the balance changes that were released a few months ago, which is a huge relief. Now, I'm sure there are going to be a bunch of spy mains defending this thing religiously in the comment section, and I'm sure they're gonna say something along the lines of, but Soundsmith, Spy needs this watch because he's such a bad class, Soundsmith, or whatever, right? But I, for one, want to have a class be viable without having to give him this annoying piece of shit. Fuck this weapon. It's not even good. It's just annoying. Fuck.
Sounds messages just made this entire thing very
Bad
personal.
spy mains actually have to rely on their game sense instead of just using a shitty fucking. Fuck, I'm done. No.
And everyone's fighting. Was this it? Yeah, this was it. And we got no final warning disclaimer because he's away. So guys, I'm gonna, if it doesn't return, I'm already gonna say thank you for coming to this video. I hope I can see you guys next time. Be sure to go to the poll and vote for tomorrow's first video. And also, if you can, leave a like, comment. Think I was going to keep recording that? Nope. Please be sure to leave a comment, tell me how your day was, leave a suggestion to go to the pool, and maybe subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, and share the channel. That would help immensely. I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and even beyond that, I hope to see you guys around, okay? Bye!